Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you're all well. A lot of prayers for all of you. We are continuing with Surah Al Asr, the third ayat, the third and the last ayat, and the principles mentioned in the last ayat of Surah Al Asr, the principles which are essential for eternal salvation, and we are discussing those principles in detail. The first principle mentioned was iman, faith, and the second is amal saleh, good deeds. So we were discussing amal saleh, and I quoted different scholars' opinions as to the definition of the good deeds or amal saleh. So let's continue with the lesson. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi zidni ilma. O my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Allahumma faqihni fid deen. O Allah, grant me the understanding of deen. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. O Allah, show us the truth as the truth and give us the ability to follow it, and show us the falsehood as the falsehood, and give us the ability to avoid it. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. So we had stopped at the point where I mentioned that the word fasad has been used as an opposite of islah at many points in the Holy Quran. The word fasad means something not remaining in its original proper state, and it also means imbalance, and it has also been translated to mean corruption. So islah means something remaining in its true proper original state as it is meant to be, and it also means balance. This is why we notice that fasad fil ard, this is a term used in the Holy Quran, spreading corruption on earth, spreading imbalance, spreading things corrupting from their natural order. That has been strongly condemned in the Holy Quran. In Surah Araf, ayat number 56, fasad is mentioned and how Allah has condemned fasad. وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا وَادْعُوهُ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا إِنَّ رَحْمَةَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ مِّنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And cause not corruption upon the earth after its reformation, and invoke Him in fear and aspiration. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is near to the doers of the good. Similarly, in Surah Araf, ayat number 85, وَإِلَى مَدْيَنَ أَخَاهُمْ شُعَيْبًا قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ بَيِّنَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ فَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. And to the people of Madian we sent their brother Shuaib alayhi salam. He said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. There has come to you clear evidence from your Lord, so fulfill the measure and the weight, and do not deprive people of their due, and cause not corruption upon the earth after its reformation. That is better for you if you should be believers. So here we notice that there is a physical act which Allah Ta'ala is declaring to be fasad. And what is that act? That act is that whilst performing business, whilst selling something, a trader is giving less of the good, he's measuring it less, and he's receiving an amount which is worth more. So this has been declared as fasad by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This act is termed as corruption because it is an imbalance and it is unfair and it is unjust. So this kind of an action is termed as fasad. And in the previous ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning fasad in its general terms, that any other kind of fasad, be it physical or moral or any other form of fasad. Similarly, we notice in Surah Shu'ara, ayat number 151 and 152, again Allah is talking about the musrifeen, or the ones who commit israf and they cross limits. وَلَا تُطِيعُوا أَمْرَ الْمُسْرِفِينَ, and do not obey the order of the transgressors. الَّذِينَ يُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا يُصْلِحُونَ, who cause corruption in the land and do not amend. So here Allah is mentioning that do not follow the actions or obey the orders of the ones who are crossing limits, who are disturbing the balance or the just order established by Allah, and are causing corruption in the land. They are causing imbalance in the land, and they are not doing actions to restore it to its original proper state of justice and order. In Surah Sa'd, ayat number 28, also we notice that Allah is mentioning the mufsideen, the ones who commit fasad. أَمْ نَجْعَلُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ كَالْمُفْسِدِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ أَمْ نَجْعَلُ الْمُتَّقِينَ كَالْفُجَّارِ, or should we treat those who believe and do righteous deeds like corruptors in the land, or should we treat those who fear Allah like the wicked? So here Allah is saying that how can a person who is believing in Allah and performing the righteous deeds according to that belief system and according to God's instructions, how can they be treated in the same manner as the ones who are causing corruption on earth? They will definitely be given very different treatment in the hereafter, because two different belief systems and two different kinds of actions in life naturally will result in two very different kinds of results in the hereafter. So they will be given very different treatment. Allah has created this universe on certain principles of balance and order, and like I said, any action which disturbs this balance and order is termed as fasad by the Holy Quran. And as we saw in these different verses and these different ayat from the Quran which we quoted, that this fasad can be or this corruption can be in the physical sense or moral sense or even intellectual sense. Man has been given certain freedom of choice, so he can either choose actions based on islah, balance, or choose actions based on fasad, corruption. But the consequences, like I said, of both these actions will be very different in this worldly life as well as the afterlife. In Surah Qalam, ayat number 35, أَفَنَجَعَلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ كَالْمُجْرِمِينَ, then will we treat the Muslims like the criminals? So here we conclude today's lesson, and inshallah in the next lesson we will be discussing in detail the third principle mentioned in ayat number 3 of Surah Al Asr, the third principle which is essential and which will save us from eternal loss in the hereafter, and that is tawasaw bil haqq. So we will discuss this in detail, that is enjoining or urging each other to the truth. So what exactly is meant by this? So inshallah we will try and understand this in detail in the next class. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.